Okay, next step. What we're going to do here is we've got this table, but right now it's only rows. So we need to come back in and we're going to make some columns. But the problem is if we were to make a column on either side of this table, we're basically going to have a big gap all the way up and down. So what's cool about Dreamweaver is it kind of acts like Excel, and you can break apart and merge these cells. So this is called a cell. So to break a cell apart, you just click in it, and we're going to break apart this one right here with our big welcome paragraph. So click anywhere in there, it doesn't really matter. And when you have clicked in there, your properties panel is going to be all about that particular cell. And what you're going to see down here in the bottom left-hand corner, it's kind of their favorite spot, it's going to say cell. Not your cell phone, but the cell out here. And these two little icons, these two little buttons are what are going to be super important that we're going to be using here. This first one, you can see it's kind of like smushing two cells together, two boxes together. And when you hover over it, it even says merge selected cells. The next one is the one that we're going to be using, and that's split cells. And you can see that there are two little boxes breaking apart. So if you click that guy, it's going to give you the option. You can either split this rectangle here into two rows, so we just keep repeating and adding another row, or we can split it into two columns. So for us, we're going to want to swap it to columns. And the number 2, it's not going to add 2 more, it still counts what's here. So when we're done, that's like your total number. So we're going to have 2 when we're done. So hit OK. And it's always going to add it over here to the right. Now, I want you to do the same thing for this Jurassic Jake's address. So just click anywhere inside there and split the cell into 2 columns. Now, do you see how this snapped to here? So they're both the same size. You're going to run into the same issues that you ran into with HTML in that when it has a column, it wants it to be the same size regardless of what's underneath of it. So as you make that bigger or smaller by sliding it, it's going to impede on your text. But these are always going to be stuck together. I can't just move the bottom one independently from the top one. They are one column. Now, in contrast to what we just did, we were breaking these apart. Now we're going to merge 2 cells together. So we're going to make kind of an awkward looking table that we more or less wouldn't be able to do as easy in HTML code. Now to merge cells, we're going to smush these 2 together that we just made. You need to click and drag and highlight them. You'll know they're highlighted or selected because they'll get a little darker around the outside. When you come back to your properties, you're going to notice that merge button, which wasn't clickable before, now is. And if you click it, it smushes them together and they live happily ever after as one big cell. Pretty neat. Happens a lot faster than if we were trying to type HTML code. So in here, we are going to drop a picture. And we're going to drop the JJ home picture. Now it's already a JPEG. It's not like that Photoshop file we brought in earlier, so it shouldn't ask you anything when you bring this in. Drag it, drop it, and you're good to go. Now kind of the same thing may or may not happen to you. Mine got really stretched out. That's okay. If you just click kind of on the outside somewhere, it'll wake back up. Got kind of big on me. If yours got stretched out like mine, you can just grab this edge. You can pull your picture in. There it goes. So I have to adjust this column over into my text, and that allows me to pull this table inward till I reach the banner. That's like as tight as I can make it. And then I can adjust this guy over. Now, I'm going to delete this real quick. Some of you may or may not have had that happen to you. If you left this really small and you brought your picture in, it might not do it to you. Mine did it to me again. So if yours didn't have any issues, then you don't have to worry about it. But if yours did, then you're going to suck this right-hand side of your table in as far as you can, and then you can push this cell over till this is nice and tight and it doesn't have any gaps. Now I could pull up on this, but there's nothing to pull up because it runs into my text. So the second it runs into like a picture or this text that can't squish together anymore, it like stops you like a wall. So adjust your table till it fits nice and neat and tight.